From 1902 until the present day, scientists have received more than 80 Nobel Prizes for their research on protein. A lot of achievements have been made, including the discovery of immunity, growth factors, insulin, and so many others. Likewise, scientists believe that protein plays a significant role in the human body. So, how much do we know about protein with such important functions? Let's study about protein in detail. Our body is mostly comprised of protein. Protein is a substance that forms our body, while at the same time it plays a significantly important role that takes charge of many different body functions. The origin of the word protein itself describes its function. Protein originates from the Greek term proteos, which has the meanings of important, first, and the best. Protein is mainly responsible for three functions in our body. First, it is the energy source of our body. And second, protein is a material that constitutes our body, including our skin, hair, muscles, nails, and so on. Third, it is in charge of forming enzymes that are necessary for chemical reactions inside our body hormones that control our physiological functions, immune system, etc. Because protein is an energy source that is used at the last step after all of the carbohydrates and lipids are used up, so in fact, protein is a rather ancillary energy source. However, it plays a significant role in the hormone activities inside the body and the controlling physiological functions, including production, growth, and the recovery of body tissues. So, it is important for everyone to consume a certain amount of protein for a healthy life. So, now we understand the concept of protein, but what is amino acid? If we consider protein to be a chunk of meat, then an amino acid is a tiny piece of it. Amino acids are the smallest units of protein, and when these small organic compounds combine together inside our body, they once again form protein. There are a total of 20 amino acids instead of one amino acid that comprise protein. A great many proteins are created as 20 different amino acids combined with different shapes. It is the same principle when we disassemble Lego into single blocks and reassemble them to make an airplane, a sailing ship, a flower, and many other new figures. So, for instance, all of our skin, hair, nails, and other body parts are the final outcomes of the amino acid incorporation. Amino acids connect to each other as a long chain through a chemical bond called the peptide linkage. And as this chain rotates, twists, and folds, its unique function forms through three-dimensional secondary, tertiary, and quaternary structures. However, even though the amino acids with the same type and numbers are bonded together, it will result in a completely different protein if their sequence differs ever so slightly. For example, if we assume that there are three different types of amino acids called A, B, and C, although there are the same type and number of amino acids, the combination of amino acids in a sequence of ABC, BAC, and CAB are all totally different to one another. So, by going through such processes, our body generates numerous proteins to perform diverse functions. The human body is similar to a chemical plant that manufactures protein with amino acids as raw materials, and it is astonishing that it operates all the time without stopping. How can our body function so well despite the presence of plenty of different variables? Is there a super precise process design blueprint? The answer to these questions is that the genetic information similar to DNA keeps creating proteins that are necessary to our body. What would happen if we lack even a single amino acid that has such a significant function inside our body? We have previously discussed that the diverse combination of 20 different amino acids creates an infinite number of proteins inside our body. If we lack even a single amino acid, our body cannot synthesize the necessary proteins and thus will experience serious trouble. Among the 20 amino acids, Our body can synthesize 12 of them, but we cannot produce the remaining 8 of them. So, we need to consume those 8 amino acids through food. These kinds of amino acids are called the essential amino acids. So, when we do not consume the essential amino acids, as we become picky about foods and thus do not have a proper meal, we will eventually receive warning signals through our health. This is why we need to take an adequate amount of essential amino acids. If so, how much should we consume protein to live a healthy life? An adequate amount will differ by each individual, but in general, it is encouraged by the WHO to consume 1 gram of protein for 1 kilogram of one's weight. The amount suggested is not the weight of food, it is the weight of the net protein. In other words, it doesn't mean that 100 grams of steak equals 100 grams of protein. Also, in the case of children, pregnant women, and the old and the infirm, they need to take a greater amount of protein. Most of the time, modern people consume a lot of meat, so we do not live in a protein-lacking environment. Rather, the excessive intake of meat results in adult diseases as it leads to the consumption of fat and flavoring. Besides, many people do not take high-quality amino acids due to the continuous consumption of processed foods and irregular eating habits. Due to these reasons, health foods have become popular these days as they contain balanced amino acids. One of them is silk amino acids. Cocoon silk contains 18 different kinds of amino acids, and it is highlighted by its purest protein, 97%, among many other types of protein available in the natural world and its origin from nature. As our average life expectancy has increased a lot, living life healthily for a long time has become more important than ever. Proper dietary habits, adequate exercise, and the consumption of balanced amino acids will lead you to live a healthy life.